And you have to wake up now because it's time for the helmet. I know it sounds very scary, and it is, but it's also fun. Now I will select the bottom part, this part of the helmet, and as you can see, it has something like a border here. Something like border, which is kind of a round border, and it's normal this for the knight armor to have this kind of border, so it's not sharp and you cannot cut yourself in it while you wear it. So it's kind of a roundish border. But how can we do that? So if we are using this poly loop here for the border, it will be hard because this one is uneven. So either we'll make it even and then use it, or we can make another one. Let's try another one. So I will go to my Z modeler brush, then I will go to a edge, and then insert single edge loop. Press, and then press shift, and then move. And I think this could work. You see, this is making a poly loop which is completely the same all over the place. Completely the same. So in this point of the course, you may have a little bit of issues because the zero mesher in your case could make a little bit of a different mesh. And for example, your poly loop, your end poly loop here is closer to the border or something. You can just delete it. You can just go to Z modeler, and if you have a border like this close here and you don't want it, you just alt click it and it will disappear. And then we can do the same as I told you. So click, move a little bit, and then shift. You see how the distance become even between the end and this loop. And I will make it the same size as the other one, like this, or roughly the same. I mean, in this case, this border, the end border, is a little bit thicker than the other ones. Also, of course, it's up to us how we make it, but yeah, it's something like that. So I will move it a little bit, this one. And we are ready to start making the thickness. Let's make the thickness. So how to make a thickness? Of any armor, of anything, we just extrude all polygons. So I will go to extrude all polygons and extrude it inward like this and make it thick. I always emphasize on this. Make it thick. You see the thickness of my armor now. It's pretty thick, right? Don't make it very thin and then it doesn't look good. It has to be thick. It just has to. That's the thing. And then we can do this. What I do most of the time is first I go to poly group, poly loop, and then I just make poly loops in here, 2 poly loops like this, and then I extrude those poly loops, go to extrude, poly group all, and I extrude them like this. You see? And then I press D to dynamically subdivide. And now it looks kinda nice, not the best, but it's not the worst. So this is something that we can do, and we did it. So now, since I have it already, I can go ahead and move the body a little bit more. Make sure it's wider in here because we need it to be. Then probably here we need it to be a little bit not so wide. Going down. And just adjust. Maybe go to the body again and move it a little bit so it's not going inside the helmet that much. We don't want it to be that much inside. And basically things like that. And let's crease it at 1 crease. And when you crease it, it will get sharper. And I will increase the subdivisions to 4. So the smooth subdivisions, I increased them to 4 and you see it's very smooth. But now we creased and this is not looking good. It's not looking round, it's looking sharp. So we have to go to our Z modeler brush and we crease edge loop complete and alt click to uncrease the whole edge loop like this. And also here. And it will be a little bit better. Of course, it's not completely round because we have very close loops to it. For example, if we remove this loop, it will be more round. Let's see if we can do it. So we can go to a edge, insert with space, of course, go to an edge with our Z modeler brush, go to an edge, press space, insert single edge loop. Okay, now alt click and it will be more round now. And I think I like it this way better. Because it was, without it, it was a little bit not so round, it was not good. Now it's better, and also, hopefully, we'll be able to poly paint it a little bit darker. But when we get to it, for now, it will stay like this. By the way, it will stay like this, but not exactly. Let's make it rounder also in this way, in this here. So up like this. I just removed the edge loop there, and now it's rounder also there. And now we don't have real subdivisions. We cannot make details. We cannot make, for example, this here, the thing. We cannot make it because we don't have subdivisions, real ones. We have only dynamic subdivisions. And when we press Ctrl Shift Alt A, we see we have dynamic on. If we disable dynamic, we will see the normal polygons. Dynamic, we'll see how it will look after we put the subdivisions on, but we still don't have them. But what we can do is use this color, for example, a little bit whiter, like this, then go to metal, and this is fine. I will go to mRGB and fill this object. mRGB means that I will fill with the material and with the color, with the current color, with M and with RGB at the same time. If I go to M, fill, and then RGB, fill, it will be the same result. But mRGB is just faster. So now it's filled with the color and material. It's metal, because it's with metal material, metal 01. And if you don't have metal 01 here, you can click and select it from here. Metal 01 is, I don't know, where is it? Metallic? No, metal 01 is before metal. Heavy metal, I mean. It's not just metal. It's heavy metal. Okay, now we have to do the same thing for this, but we will not make two borders. This will make only one, only the visible. Inside, where they go inside, we don't need to make them. So it's fine for us. It's pretty good. So now we have to see. Okay, now I will do this. I will go to the modeler brush. I will disable this and disable this. I don't want them. So I will press Shift, go down a little bit. This will be my 1. And go here, press Shift, go down a bit. And I kind of want to be the same. No, it moved. When I do it with the tablet, it tends to move. Now I will go and polygroup, polyloop. I make sure my orange arrow is pointing in the right direction, not down like this, but on the side like this, and the same here. And you see, we have those loops. By the way, it was not a good idea to make those loops now, so I will disable them. We need first to make the thickness. So let's go. Extrude all polygons and extrude them inward. I always extrude inward, and then I flip. So extrude them inward, flip, and you see the thickness of the armor is pretty thick. Don't do it thin. I always, not always, but I frequently see people that are making my course about the course that you have to do before you go to this course if you're a beginner. Absolute beginner ZBrush course. So this course of mine is with a cartoon character, a cartoon knight. And it has armor, like this, almost. And people are making it very thin. And it should be thick, because it's a cartoon character. And the armor should be pretty thick. So make sure it's thick. And then we do this. Go again to a polygroup, polyloop. So polygroup, polyloop. And then press. And then we will go again to a polygon, extrude, polygroup all. And we'll extrude it like this. Then we will delete these polygons in here because we don't need them. And then we press D for dynamically subdivision. And this looks bad. No, it doesn't look bad. It just is not what I expected. Of course, we will always be able to adjust it after we do this. It's not written in stone, so we can go ahead and move this and that a little bit. I don't completely like it now, but let's crease at 1. So if you crease just with 15 levels, it will be awful, you see? It will be super sharp. Don't do this ever. These sharp edges you never want. So Control Z, and now we'll crease at 1. Crease, and now we have sharp levels too, sharp edges. But I will go and with crease, edge loop complete, I will alt-click, 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 and alt-click just for them to be a bit softer. And then I will increase the smooth subdivisions to 4. 4 most of the time is the golden middle. Don't make it too much more than 4. Don't make it too little. 4 is okay. So I will go to now to metal. And then I will go to mRGB and fill object. Make sure you fill it. If you don't press fill object and then you go back to your basic material, it will not stay metal. It will not stay with this particular material that you want. Okay, maybe we can connect these two and this. So I'll go to the top, which are the two of them, and then merge down. Okay, let's see. All right, now this is one object, which is good for me. I can work on it. I can not work on it. It's my choice. All right, now it's looking kind of awesome. I mean, no, not awesome. It's not awesome. It's not awesome yet. So let's go here to the helmet part, to the helmet. And now what we can do here is the same. We can press D to dynamically subdivide. We can go and crease at 1. All right. We can increase the smooth subdivisions to 4. All right. And now it doesn't look half bad. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I can, for example, if I see in some areas, it's a little bit more I can inflate this area just so it goes a bit out. I inflate, and then I will go to with my high polish brush, and then I can do this to just flatten this area. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult to make it work, but it's fine. I mean, we can. And those things here, those cuts, could be sharper, because in our case here they are a little bit sharper on the edges. So what can I do about that? I know what I can do. I can go here and put just one more edge loop in here and one more edge loop in here and maybe one in here. All right, and now they should be sharper. Yes, they are sharper. And this one that I put in here, it's not good because it's but it has to be there, so I will leave it. And it's making problems, but we'll have to deal with it. It's making it, you see, there is like a little line in here. Probably you don't see it, but it's a little angle. I will go with my high polish brush and very gently try to adjust it. And then I will go here and move with my move brush, because I want this not to be so much inward. It even should be a little bit outward maybe. And I try everything to be as smooth as possible, though it's not exactly smooth even now. So we have to work a little bit more on it. It shouldn't be that unsmooth. It should be more smooth. But still, don't ever make it super sharp. So this, for example, is okay. It's maybe a little bit soft, but it's better to be a little bit softer, not too much, because it's still it's iron, it's metal. So it shouldn't be super soft, but it shouldn't be also very hard. It shouldn't be very hard edge, because it will not have specular, and specular is what we need. We need it definitely. We definitely need the specular. Without specular, we are nothing. 3D artists, we need specular. Let's see now. It looks decent, although not exactly perfect yet. So what I want to do is I want to take this green things and maybe, let me see, maybe delete the green. What do you say? Or let me think about. So can I select it? I will go to W, to my pivot, and control click on this. Okay, but the inside also is green, which is interesting. So let me just select all the greens. Now they are selected. I will go to auto groups and then mirror and weld. Okay, let's show everything, mirror and weld. Why I'm doing this? Because I want this inside group to be a different group than those here, because I want to be able to select only the side groups, hopefully. Okay, how to select them, only them? Probably we have to hide all of the others. So I'm just kind of trying here. Yeah, it will be hard. You know, it's difficult to select a group if it doesn't have poly loop in the middle, the group. So let me put one poly loop here, here, and here, and see if it will be easier for me to select them. Yes, basically it's much easier now, and now I have them. I have them all. So what I can do is I can go to the middle of it, like this, and then move them all to the middle. Press D, move them all, oops, mask them, invert, oops, mask them, show everything, invert the mask, and then move them back a little bit. Hopefully, this way. I think it's better this way, because now, since they are more inside, and if we kind of knew this, we would make it in the beginning, we will make them deeper in the beginning, but now I can just show the black thing which is inside. I can make it show a little bit. So I inflate here, then I will high polish it to make it more flat, and this way I think we have a nice presentation here. Of course, those holes could be a little bit smaller, so let's kind of adjust their size. They're a little bit too wide in my opinion, for my taste. So I'll make them just with move brush, very, very easily. I will just make them smaller. Here in the front too. Yeah, just by hand. I know it's a little bit annoying, and it may make them look jagged, but if you are careful, it could be okay. It should be fine if we are careful. If we are not careful, they will not be fine. They will be bad. But if we are careful with very little moves here and there, we can make it work. So now this is what we have. This is looking kind of fine. I will go to metal again, mRGB, fill object, and then go basic material. And now we have this. And in the next video, we'll continue with the other parts of the helmet maybe, or if I have something else in mind, we will continue with something else. We'll see. But in this point, the dragon is looking, or our overall 3D is looking not so good. I mean, for me, this looks bad because it's completely unfinished. It's half finished. Some things are kind of finished, some things are completely unfinished, and it looks super bad. So don't ever show this to anybody ever. This part of your sculpt, or in this stage your sculpt, don't show it to anybody, because it will be bad for your reputation, if I may say. Yeah, So bye for now. In the next video we will continue working on the helmet. Hopefully we will make it work, and at some point we will make the detailing here, and it will start looking as a real helmet. And then we can continue to the other parts, because the helmet is bugging me the most. It's still unfinished, it still looks not very good, and we need to work on it. I need to work on it personally. For you, I don't know, but for me it's a little bit like unfinished job, we have to do it. Okay, see you in the next video.